What do old blue jeans and organization have in common? The answer might surprise you. For this project, I first went to the thrift store and headed straight to the clothing section. I rifled through the pants and found the perfect pair of dark blue jeans that were 50% off, making them only $3. I started by cutting the small front pocket, making sure to only cut the front layer of the jeans. Then I turned the jeans over and removed the 2 back pockets and all the loops. Once everything was removed, I trimmed the excess fabric from the pockets and loops. The frame of the corkboard came with a slight finish on it, so I used some 220 grit sandpaper to quickly sand that finish off. I wanted to start over with bare wood. I used a clean microfiber cloth to remove the dust, then stained the frame with 2 coats of stain in the color Golden Pecan. Once the stain was fully dry, I sealed the wood with a wipe-on poly and again allowed the frame to dry. First, I measured the inner portion of the corkboard, which was 21 3/4 inches long by 15 3/4 inches wide. Then, using my rotary cutter and the mat, I cut the fabric to size, 21 3/4 inches long by 15 3/4 inches wide. Once the fabric was cut, I squeezed some fabric glue onto the top third of the corkboard, then spread it evenly with a foam brush. Then I lined the fabric up with the cork portion and applied it to the board, making sure to smooth out any wrinkles. Then I repeated that process for the last 2/3 of the board. Once the fabric was secured, I used a flat tool to push any excess fabric under the wooden frame for a more seamless look. The next day, I first attached the hanging hooks that came with the board to the back of the wooden frame. I flipped the board over and started playing with the position of the jean pockets. Once I was happy with the placement, I used some gold pins I got on Amazon to secure them to the board. Then it was time to decorate with my kids' trinkets, medals, and ribbons from school, and some souvenirs they got on a recent trip. Now my kids have a super cute organizer for their room that can grow with them. I hope this tutorial inspired you to get creative with some old jeans to make your very own blue jean organizer. Thanks so much for watching Home Talk, and I'll see you next time.
I had this old bag of jeans laying around waiting to donate it to my local thrift store, but the other day I thought that I could use a couple pair of these jeans to make some free dog toys for my little pup Zoe. This one is super easy. All you have to do is cut off the waistband on the jeans. So just undo the button, lower the zipper, and just cut around the waistband of the jeans. You can cut the loops on or off, it doesn't matter, but you do want to make sure that you cut off the button at the end because it's metal and you don't want your dog chewing on that or it wrecking their teeth. So cut that off, and then what you have here is a great band to play tug of war with your pup. For my next toy, I'm going to take these mustard color pair of pants that I had, and I'm going to cut off one of the legs just about 10 to 8 inches above the end of the pant. And then I'm going to take that piece and I'm going to begin by rolling it down from the top where I cut, almost like I'm making a sock bun. And I'm going to continue rolling until I've reached the end, making sure that the hem of the pant is tucked inside. Then I'm going to take a strip of jean from my other pair of pants that is about 20 to 25 inches long, and I'm going to begin wrapping it around my circle, just intermittently around, leaving a little bit of the mustard showing in between. And then once I get to where I started, I'm just going to take the little piece I have left over and I'm going to knot it and tie it to the other piece. I'm going to leave a big longer piece hanging off so I have a little handle. And then this toy is a cute little jean donut. My donut's really small because I have a smaller dog, but if you have a larger dog, you would just simply use a larger pair of pants. For my next toy, I'm going to begin with my other leg on my pant that I hadn't cut yet, and I'm going to cut from the bottom all the way up to where the leg stops, and then I'm going to repeat this process 2 times until I have 2 strips of jean, and then I'm going to do the same thing on my mustard pair of pants, cutting off 2 strips of jean that are the exact same size as my other 2 strips. So I have 2 of the mustard color and 2 of the jean color. You can do this with just jean, but I like a little color to my dog toys. You are then going to place them one on top of the other, and then using a rubber band, you're going to tie it around the end. Once you have your rubber band on nice and tight, you're going to take your 4 pieces and you're going to spread them out onto your work surface in a cross. So you're going to take each color and every other, you're going to go in a cross shape, and we are going to begin making a crown knot. So we take our first piece and we're going to make a U shape, making sure that it's over our second piece. Then we are going to take that second piece and do the same thing over the third piece. So making a U shape and crossing it over. And then again, we're going to take our third piece, make a U shape and cross that over our fourth piece. With our fourth piece, we do the exact same thing, but this time we're going to take the tail of the fourth piece and tuck it under the first piece. Then once you have this all set here, you're going to pull all the pieces together to form a tight knot. You pull the pieces a little bit at each time, going back and forth between the 4 pieces so that your knot is nice and even. This may look a little messy while you're doing it, but once the knot gets tighter, you will see the 4 pieces of the knot in a nice even formation. You're going to repeat this process again, except for this time you're going to go backwards, so the other way from the first way you started. And then you continue doing this back and forth, switching directions over and over again until you've made a long chain of knots. Be sure after tying each knot that your knot looks like this, nice and even, because you want a nice, even, long knot rope. So once you get to the end, it gets a little bit harder to tie the knots. So once you can't tie any more knots, you can stop, and then you can take the elastic off the end where you started and just pull it nice and tight. This one is a nice stretchy toy that dogs will love to chew on. For my last toy, I'm going to take the remainder leg of my other jean and I'm going to cut it off. So I have this nice big long piece, and then I'm going to cut 2 pieces off my mustard jeans that are big long strips, and I'm going to take some stuffing and lay that in the middle, and then another cuff of my other jean and just put that over top to give it some shape and just a little more structure. Then I'm going to take the jean and I'm going to roll it over like a candy wrapper, and then use my strips of the mustard jean to tie off the ends. And this is just like making a big candy. Cut off any excess, and that's our final toy. Super easy. So here are 4 unique dog toys made from old jeans that I was just going to get rid of anyways. Let's take them and see how Zoe likes them. These toys were a huge hit. She really liked them, especially the crown knot rope toy. She loved flipping it around, and actually she has this thing where she gets a new toy and she has to roll her back all over it. I don't know if she's marking her territory or what, but it was super cute. Dog toys are so costly lately, and I find that my dog just chews them and rips them to shreds in no time. So I'm super glad that I was able to repurpose some old jeans that I was just going to get rid of anyways. I hope that this DIY has inspired you to get creative and make your own dog toys.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Go fetch!
Thank you so much for tuning into Home Talk, and we'll see you on another video.